Well, you got a lot of chores done today, so it feels good. Well, it seems like a lot of chores. Cleaned up that table over there and that section over there. It doesn't look much different, but it really is. It's a lot different. It's a lot cleaner. And then I gotta go through, move some of the stuff around on the pegboards, and fix the pegboards over there, and then fix everything. And I'm gonna have where the every power tool over there, I'm gonna flip it to where the cord's leaning towards the back of the wall, not towards the front, so it can't be pulled down on anybody and follow. So we got to flip those around, and then we got to move all that stuff up high and move boxes and stuff down low. And might even take some stuff over there and put boxes down low on that too, just to keep access to behind and crawling under there, out of the way and stuff. So we'll do that too. So we'll get it done. So we'll get that done tomorrow. And now I'm just getting in over attentive. Now it's where the point, like I'm gonna get the ladder and get the broom and get most of the cobwebs up there, and then just keep the cobwebs to a minimum and stuff. I'm getting anal retentive now. When I look around, it's like, okay, get that, clean that, because I've cleaned so much and put the tape over all the parts that have fiberglass exposed and stuff. I gotta pull those off and do that. But then I'm almost done with the interior. Everything just about is done. So all we gotta get is, I'm gonna price and see if the picnic tables are on sale at the hardware stores. Maybe go grab one of those and a cheap barbecue grill and another bag of charcoal. And I'm not gonna do lighter fluid. I think I'm gonna take some of the sticks out of our kindling pile and some paper and light those underneath the charcoal and just go straight charcoal instead of using lighter fluid or things like that. So just do that. And so, but we got it going on, so it's working. Things are going on. So it's pretty cool. Got the lights all in place and stuff. I got to go get the solar lights from Wally World and put them on the front, so you can see yourself coming in and you don't trip over things and it isn't too dark. And you can see if you go out to smoke at the smoke table. And I got to hang the triangle and clean up the top of that where the triangle hangs, and that's about it. Pegboard, organize that, put up the pegboard, and the rec hall is in full rec hall. That's pretty cool. I was sitting there watching, I went and watched the video we made earlier. Because I don't, I'm not Google. I don't do YouTube, we live what we do, and we make decisions together. Okay, you can't operate independently. You can be better than other people because you're faithful and they're unfaithful. Okay, now an unfaithful woman keeps a man's ego. A faithful woman keeps a man's ego in check. An unfaithful woman will destroy a man with his ego. Okay, so you're gonna have to, if the woman's unfaithful, she makes him insecure, he becomes aggressive or abusive, or he cheats to get back at her and make her feel like, you're gonna make me feel inferior. So unfaithful women, a woman that's not standing up for the Lord's Prayer, won't live the ways of Solomon and David and stuff, she'll destroy you with your ego. But a faithful woman will protect you from destroying yourself and her with your ego. So we need to be very cognizant of what kind of life we're living and how we're living. And a woman has to look at herself and say, am I faithful? It's like, obviously you're not standing up for the Lord's Prayer, so you're not. You know what I'm saying? And then there's me, I'm faithful. Well, I teach women how to be faithful, and then they say, oh, well, except no man, except for that man, because he already can control his ego, and so he won't destroy himself with his ego, and he won't destroy me and my children with his ego. So he's a faithful lover. So I want to be a faithful lover to him, and that's just the way women should be. They should settle for nothing less than an early bird. I'm an early bird. Nice to meet you. But you guys got to understand that if you don't step up and do the right thing, if you don't love one another the way Jesus meant for us to love one another. Love isn't sexual attachment and attachment to your physical reproduction. Okay, do you understand? Because, you know, if your kid's intelligent enough to not can't stand you, like if Adolf Hitler had kids and his kid became intelligent enough to realize what a jerk his father was, and how he wanted to be nothing like his fucking father because his father was an egotistical maniac and a creep and treated his mom like shit, right? Then, so, you know, you can't live through your children. You know, your legacy can't live through your children. Okay? Because look at Saul and look at Jonathan. Okay? Saul was a rotter and Jonathan was a good kid because he didn't want to end up being like, he was learning from his dad's mistakes, and he was watching David and saying, I want to be more like David and less like my father Saul. Okay. And that's beautiful, because when you're young and you're given a contrast, you know, here's the faithful lover, here's the person being a turd, and the person being a turd is your own father. You have to make a choice and say, okay, do I want to be a turd like my father, or do I want to be a good man like King David, right? And it's hard. Jesus tells me about it. He goes, you know, the thing is when people trap themselves in the ego, when they resign the glory of God to their limitations of their ego, you know, they want to help. Well, they don't want to help. They say they want to help, okay? But they want it to be about them and their ego. And then they'll ask to help. And then they'll say, well, and then you'll say, and then Lord Jesus will tell, well, I need you to do this. No, I'm going to do this. Well, then, you know, and that's what Jesus tells people. You know, if you don't listen to him and you don't obey him, you're not going to be able to be, you're not going to, you know, like David with the 250. You're not going to come back with the children and the women and have them all look at you and say, you weren't afraid and you saved me from the barbarians and the heathens, right? And so you can't be afraid, you know. We the faithful understand that the truth is life is eternal and grace is infinite, okay? So we fear no evil. We fear not what the devil and Satan can do to us and our children and our wives, okay? It makes us uncomfortable, it's horrible, but it's not this, you know, you crying over this clay, okay? And so what you guys got to understand, okay, is that we the faithful realize what's happening with a lot of you right now, okay? They're doing this to tons of people, and mostly people that call themselves religious, okay? Like poor Anna Martinez down the road, okay? She has Roundup sprayed around by her thing. She's right there on the new, on that road used to have light traffic. Now it's got heavy traffic because of all the people in the military that made housing developments there to drive back and forth, and most of them don't have electric cars. Most of them have, you know, big diesel truck, brum, brum, it's okay. And so she has a very strong immune system, but too much poisoning, it's not gonna, you'll eventually succumb and you'll die, okay? And then so she prays to this magic Jesus to save her, and from the clouds, whose magic that her pastor gives her, and he's not real, and he ain't never coming. And so that suffering is passed on to the children if they accept it too. It's just perpetual suffering. So then they just give up hope and just want to cease to exist as genetic sequences. So they're literally like volunteering and giving their okay because they're accepting magic Jesus that ain't coming as their savior and their God, that it gives the scientific community like a okay to murder them. So don't believe in anything you've done. Don't believe in copyrights. Don't believe in money. Don't believe in, hey, you're infringing on my copyrights. You're infringing on this. You can't do that. You know, don't do the Boz Scaggs. I ain't Saturday Night Fever. This ain't John Travolta. And I ain't using Boz Scaggs to try to sell a really bad movie. It was bad. It was a bad movie. The music and the dancing was tolerable. It's the only thing that made the movie successful. The storyline and the characters were like, it's like a clusterfuck, you know, these Jersey kids that are, you know. It wasn't a very good movie, but the music and the dancing and the disco scene, it sold. And there's a lot of dysfunctional people, I guess, that spend their time at the disco, and that's their only escape. And so that was basically the movie. If you you know, it's not my scene. So I watched it. I was like, this movie sucks. Okay. I really have a big crush on her, Von Elman. You know, but she wasn't even in the movie, right? She was just singing in the movie. You know, as she was at her music was the background of the disco. You know, don't know why I'm surviving every lonely day when there's got to be no chance for me. She sings it better than Bee Gees. Oh yeah, she does. Well, that's why they wrote it for her first. If I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby. If I can't have you, oh, she has a really good voice. Oh yeah, yeah. Andrew Lloyd Webber's Mary Magdalene. That girl can sing. I don't know. Try not to give angry. Try not to give in to things that upset you. Don't you know everything's alright? My Emily loves that movie. She'd watch that, and then she'd watch Can We Start, and she'd cry. And I'm like, Amy, you're gonna Steph, Amy, you're gonna watch that like 8 times. You're gonna cry. You're like Val with Felina, and oh boy. Okay, they didn't have to kill him. I totally agree. It's horrible, Daddy. I love it. He's so sweet. He's so beautiful. They had to kill him. I love him so much. Me too, Emily. Okay, so cute. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. It was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. You're like, Emily. Emily. I got to record that. Emily. But yeah, that's a good song. I like that song. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Okay, but don't copyright anything. Don't think you need to make money for anything. Don't need to think you need to pay any bills. Forgive, debt, and trespass, love one another, eternal, faithful peace. Step up. If, you know, if you're, you know, don't do like Happy with Pharrell Williams with the Marvin Gaye family and stuff. And, hey, you need to give us money for that. Just live the Lord's Prayer. Who's willing to try? Save our sweet world. Okay, guys? I love you. All right, peace. Everybody get up and do it together. We'll make it a lot easier on the Messiah, and he will muy appreciate it. Okay, guys? I love you. All right, peace.